Big exciting news to start your evening before we start to Monday morning. Oh boy, here comes Monday. We're here and we're together and we're focused on election night and all the efforts of this incredible channel, the Purple Power, a group that I gave a name to and called it Purple Power several weeks ago, come to a head on Tuesday night. All the pushes that we have been pushing on, we need to push louder and more vocal than ever before. You need to be sharing the videos, tagging your friends, and getting the messages out. Hashtag Seats for Stimulus. Hashtag MSC. Hashtag Executive Orders. Hashtag Purple Power. You need to be loud, vocal, and pushy and getting it done. And despite whatever happens on election night, the push doesn't stop thereafter. In this video, I give a real comprehensive background on where you could be the night after election day and why I've amped up the pressure and amped up the tone in the final days before election night. It's a great night, and this is Purple Power. Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Purple Power, the broadcast every day that gives you the emotional backing to get financially stable on the ground while keeping you focused on where your future will be. This recording will go over what you should focus on for stimulus relief, financial relief to get through this pandemic and get to the other side ahead and winning. If you've not subscribed, go to the Funnest channel, subscribe so you don't miss a video when a new video goes live. A lot of videos and a lot of twists and turns. I'll be changing up the scheduling to on Tuesday potentially as election night unfolds. Also, like this video, it really helps in the algorithm. In this video, I'll be going over why it's important in the final push of the Purple Power tonight, tomorrow, and Tuesday to get very vocal because a lot of people have not voted. And your push will make the difference. Next, I will be going over emotional stability and why the concerns about lockdowns may make you tense and why you need to stay emotionally stable and emotionally focused on stimulus relief. And I'll give you a personal message of where I think the stimulus will land. Then I'll turn to Europe that is dealing with the issues that we could be dealing with in a couple of weeks, lockdowns. Churches are responding to the issue. Elected officials are responding to the issue. Stimulus relief, unemployment, checks, all those. And we'll look at how they're dealing with it and how it can impact ourselves. And finally, a personal message about tone and conviction and how I've dealt with this differently since this channel first started in April. All right, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news as you sit here tonight is that the pushes of the Purple Power need to be very loud and focused. We've done a lot of great stuff, but we're not finished. And whatever happens on election night, we're not finished that night as well. So go on social media, take these videos, post them to Facebook, post them to Twitter, add them to your Facebook groups, and say, hey, first, Seats for Stimulus, hashtag Seats, the number 4, Stimulus. Make it very clear. We're not electing you. We're not re-electing you and bringing you back if you're an incumbent, if you didn't give a stimulus. If you're a House or a Senator or a President or a Democrat or a Republican and you didn't give a stimulus, why are you there? Why did you get paid to not give us stimulus? Does it make sense? You got a salary, you got a retirement, and what do we get? Seats for stimulus. Next, hashtag MSC. That's multiple stimulus checks. You're owed multiple stimulus checks, and ultimately we need to change the discourse. We have been changing the discourse. The Purple Power has been so absolutely successful throughout this endeavor. I'm not going to go through all your achievements, but you know them. I've detailed them a lot on this channel. Next, executive orders. You need to push with the president because he can do them down to the 11th hour, and he can do them after election night. Then you need to push with the discussions that will continue all week long, even after election night. Those are the Purple Power caucuses. Those are the 3 major issues that we talk about when we talk about stimulus. First one, hashtag Purple Power check space hashtag LALATE. Go on social media and tweet that. Go on Instagram and post that. Go on Facebook and post that. And see what people react to. People see one another, retweet it, retweet someone else that says the same thing. Then start the discussions going. How many checks? How much should the checks be? When should the checks be delivered? How many months of checks? See if you agree. Then once you agree, start to tag the elected official. Then start to tag the officials that are coming in. If you hear on Tuesday night, you have new people coming in. Because ultimately, new elected officials want to do stuff. That's why they're elected. Also, hashtag Purple Power FPUC space hashtag LALATE. That's to refer to the discussion for the delegates on unemployment assistance. Get the discussion out there. You need stimulus checks. You need FPUC. How much stimulus? Should it be retroactive to late July when that's FPUC expired? Do you think that the Temple of Doom's idea to do it only to retroactive to September works? And how about it expiring in December? What about it continuing to March? How many months? How many weeks of FPUC? And how much per week? Get the discussions going. Next, hashtag Purple Power Hazard Pay space hashtag LALATE. If you watched afternoon's LALATE video on Purple Power at 4 o'clock this afternoon, the video that has a thumbnail of the lifeguard stand, that video detailed how Pennsylvania has done an incredible success with hazard pay on a state level. So states should do hazard pay. Also, continue the discussion with your state governors. Tag them as well. You'll see if you watch that video how hazard pay was a success in Pennsylvania and 2 other states, and now they're asking for other states to do hazard pay. And they can. Should they? Get the message out. Now, let's turn to Europe. Europe, as you know, it has been dealing with new lockdowns. And on Friday, Boris Johnson, the PM of England, announced new lockdowns. Tonight, the reaction is settling in about lockdowns. And I wanted to go over this for the purpose of you to remain emotionally stable and also financially stable if we face lockdowns. Let's look at what they're doing today. On Sunday, Cabinet Officer Minister Michael Gove said the lockdowns could be extended longer than December that is being prepared. Johnson faced a rebellion from several senior leaders regarding the whole entire issue. They said overnight, if these kinds of measures were to be taken in a totalitarian country around the world, we would denounce it as a form of evil, and hence the removal of people's fundamental liberties is almost gone without comment. So interesting. Some people against lockdowns were announcing them as evil and suggesting it's almost dictatorial. Another former cabinet member, Esther McCure, said that she would vote against lockdown, saying it's the lockdown cure that's causing more harm than COVID. The world cannot be put on hold, and the government would stop pressing the pause button and stop button for the whole world nation on a whim with all the disastrous effects that it brings to our lives, livelihood, health, and relationships. So what she's saying is that lockdowns impact not just your financial pocket, but also your emotional. And the Catholic Church has an issue to say about this tonight. They say that they are not happy about the lockdowns being announced in England. It is a source of deep anguish now that the government is acquiring, once again, the ending of public communal worship. While we understand the difficult decisions, a productive part of combating the virus is faith. But they add, in requiring the sacrifice, the government has a profound responsibility to show what it takes in particular decisions. Not doing so risks the unity and need for relief. Then came a statement from the evangelical churches. They said, for the people in church and other religious communities, it seems unfair. We have put in a great deal of effort to have measures, and much safer than other settings, than even secondary schools. The government's inadequate consultation on faith communities remains a problem. What's important for you to feel, and this is where I'm turning the focus now for this broadcast, this recording, is emotional stability as the potential lockdowns are announced. I want to go over a couple of personal messages, and also I want to give you some guidance on where we're going. First, people always ask me, are we going to get stimulus? Of course you're going to get stimulus. Yes, stimulus is going to come. When is the big question? The form is a big question. The type of stimulus, the robust nature of it is the question. But of course stimulus is going to come. So I don't want you to ever lose faith. That's the purpose of the Purple Power. Second, On a given day, there's always people that jump into comments and say, never going to happen, never going to happen, never going to happen, never going to happen. That's what's called negativity. We don't do that in Purple Power. And so if you see someone that has something like that, just ignore it, brush it off. Third, Purple Power describes nonpartisan reaction to stimulus. Our focus is getting stimulus out, whether or not you're a Republican or a Democrat. And ultimately, I do believe that on Tuesday night, you will have people jumping in the comments or on social media elsewhere that are saying, oh, it's because Republican, it's because Democrat. What I want you to understand is that that's not a place for this channel. And so it's important to understand that how I voted, how you voted for president doesn't make a difference separate and apart from the issue of your stimulus. We're here to focus on stimulus and getting it in your hands. And ultimately, what happens on election night may cause you to feel depressed because your candidate didn't win, but I don't want that depression to continue past the new morning, because ultimately, stimulus will come to you. It just depends on who's in government to get it done. And I don't want you to presume that events of the past will be events of the future. Oh, it didn't happen that way in August, so hence it's not going to happen that way in November. I don't want you to do that because that's not productive. Then lockdowns. I want to talk shortly about lockdowns, stimulus, and emotionality. First, a couple of people sent me very nice comments this afternoon and said, hey, LALATE, I saw how upbeat you were in today's Sunday recordings. I really appreciate it. I think that well as too. I personally saw a change in my demeanor on Sundays or Saturdays recordings that they were a little bit bland. They were a little bit monotone. And what I tried to do was inherently try to keep my inherent mood that I usually am, which is this, more focused for you so that you can impart that as well. It's important to understand that if lockdowns are announced in your city or county or state, they do take a toll on you. And what's important to understand is that we're a community and we're here to help one another. So if you feel depressed or sad or anxious or confused, go on social media, look for people that are tweeting #PurplePower. There's a reason I created this community, for people to help each other. I want to give you an example. Halfway through the EIDL recordings of this channel, several months into it, I had found a path to getting them approved faster, very fast, like literally within 24 hours. And so with those tricks that I found, I turned to viewers and I said, okay, we'll now figure out a way to help you faster than ever. But I said, if you get helped, I want you to turn around and help the next person. That's sort of the motive and the messaging as I talk to you tonight about lockdowns. That if you are on lockdown and someone else is not on lockdown on this channel, and you see the person on lockdown anxious, reach out to that person and help them. Or if you see the person saying, I'm on lockdown and I can't do this and I can't do that, reach out to that person, try to help them. Say, here I am. Or drop a comment, say, I'm here to help you. You want to talk? I'm here to talk. That's the spirit of this channel, helping one another and helping everyone get through. Finally, another message I want to send out. I don't often talk about this on camera for a specific reason, because I don't like certain messages to come out on camera. But this message, I have to talk about it. You will see in these reports, which I just quoted from BBC in England, that they do talk about suicide rates that occur in the event of lockdowns. They will happen. They will happen around you. And ultimately, I want you to be prepared emotionally for them. And they will happen as the situation occurs. And ultimately, it is one of those things that you have to deal with it on a personal level. As you know, when I record my videos, and I record them with a cold read, meaning I don't know the comments before I read them. And if you are an original viewer of this channel back to April 25th, you will know that there were at least 2 cold reads that I read on camera where I learned that not viewers of this channel, but not viewers of this channel, but people who viewers knew had committed suicide during the early weeks of this pandemic. And my reaction on the camera was, hard to express. And so I want you to be emotionally prepared for what could be seen around you. And so it's important to understand that you communicate anything that you feel of concern to one another. We're here to help each other. And with that message, I hope you have a great evening, and I hope you stay safe, stay informed, and stay motivated. Have a great evening, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning on our fun, upbeat broadcast of Early Mornings at LALATE. Have a great evening.